sure some students will come in, but I'll just do an introduction first. So for those of you I haven't met, my name is Cindy Clark. I'm the Senior Assistant Registrar for Student Services here at Ithaca College. I work over in PRW, right above admissions. We're located on the second floor. And I am a parent of 3 boys who have all been in your position. They've all graduated from college, went through college, so I kind of understand as the parent perspective, you know, even as a student's perspective from my own kids, and, you know, as someone who works here at the college in my position. So in my role, what I do is I am the person who awards degrees. I'm the one who looks at your degree works. You might see my name if there was an exception placed on your degree evaluation. I hope you all run degree evaluations. So that is me. I also do all the change of majors, minors. I process other forms too, but I do mostly everything that has to do with graduation, because my main goal is to get you graduated, and so you can kind of move on, go to graduate school, you know, or get a job and go in the workforce. So what we're going to do today, and just so you know off the top, this semester is my last semester here. I'm going to be retiring. There is somebody I'm hoping that will be coming in. His name is Mark Yeager, and for commencement, he will be taking over part of my responsibility as far as the registration for commencement. We'll go through all that later. His name is Mark Yeager. So I hope he shows up and we can introduce you to him. Okay. So what we're going to do is, these are some of the things that I do. I also answer the My Degree email. If anybody has ever emailed My Degree, I'm the person who answers that as well. And again, we're located on the second floor of PRW. That's all my information. At the very end, if you want to take a picture of it, you can. And if I'm not here, I will not be here next semester, but there will be somebody else in our office that you can always ask questions for too as well. I just don't know who that person is right now. Okay, so for our senior year, what are we going to expect? We're going to go through graduation requirements, applying for your degree, and I'm going to next week send you all an email, if you haven't already, apply for your degree. We're going to talk about Latin honors. We're going to talk about the commencement program, registering for commencement. If you take any courses outside of Ithaca in your final year, the number of credits you need to graduate. There's something called the Final Destination Survey. That's something that you have to do in order to receive your diploma. And then we'll have time for questions and answers. So this is your degree evaluation. Everybody should know what this looks like. Please say you do. Thank you. Every time you have a change, so if you change your major, you get grades, you register for a class, you drop a class, always run a degree evaluation so you can see where you're at. So on the top portion of your degree evaluation, it shows you what your expected graduation date is, your major, who your advisor is, and all that kind of information. It's kind of the basics about your graduation record. Anytime you have questions on it, you can email my degree at ithaca.edu, and I'd be more than happy to help you. Then on the degree evaluation becomes the body of it. So we have to make sure everything's checked off. Okay, so see those green check marks? That's your main goal, is to have a green check mark after your grades or a blue tilde. The blue tilde means that it's in progress. So it could be your degrees in progress, your majors in progress, your minor, or whatever. Everything has to be a green check mark, or a green check mark actually for me to award your degree, or a tilde to say, hey, you're on track. So the tilde means you're on track. If it's blank, you have a problem. In order to graduate for Bachelor's of Art, you have to have 90 liberal arts credits. That's a New York State policy. We can't do anything about that. Bachelor's of Science is 60, Fine Arts and Music is 30 liberal arts credits. Okay, so that has to be done. For one degree, you have to have 120 earned credits. And even if you have two majors, but it's the same degree program, like two Bachelor's of Art majors, that's one diploma, one degree, 120 credits minimum. If you have two degrees, so Bachelor's of Fine Arts, Bachelor's of Science, that's 150 is the minimum earned credits. Some of you have e-portfolio on, depending on your catalog year, you'll already see that's checked off. That used to be a requirement and you no longer have to fulfill that requirement. It's kind of already done through your capstone. Now, for May grads, again, we get the blue tilde in May. Everything should either be that blue tilde or the green check mark. If there's a problem, you're going to probably get an email from maybe your advisor, your school, somebody, and they'll say, hey, you have a problem. If they say you have a problem, do not ignore it. You have a problem. You may think somebody may have said to you, oh, don't worry about that. I'm going to take care of it. I am telling you, worry about that until it's taken care of, until that green check mark is there or that blue tilde. Don't let it go. I can't tell you how many students I couldn't award their degrees because of something like that. So I'm telling you, I want you to worry about it. You may need a course waiver substitution. They're either going to waive credits, they're going to waive the course, or they're going to waive or substitute another course for the required course. All right, now that's enough of degree evaluation. That's the boring stuff. Now comes the exciting part. You're going to apply to graduate. I'm going to send the invitation out, as I said, next week. When you apply to graduate, there's going to come with instructions. It takes you less than 5 minutes to do. Don't hesitate to do it, but in order to do it, you have to have 85 earned credit hours. The credit hours, earned credit hours, does not include what you're currently registered for. So you have to make sure you've earned and you've gotten a grade for all those credits. It includes transfer credit, but it's not credit you're currently registered for. When you apply, as I said, you have to have the 85 earned credits. You have to make sure your minor's correct. If you're going to drop a minor, you can't graduate with a minor that's not complete. So if you're not going to complete it, please drop it. You're going to have to make sure that your date is correct. You may have a May date, but you may say, hey, I need an extra semester. That's okay, but you want to walk with your class. Anyone with the December 2024 through December 2025 can walk at the May commencement, okay? I want you to change the date if you're not going to graduate in May of 25, and that means all your requirements have to be done. Even if it's August, change your date because you're going to need a time ticket or you can't register for a future term. And a B, you're going to still be, available to come to, eligible, I should say, to come to commencement. So make sure you change your date so we have your correct date. Then when you're going through and you're filling out your application, you're going to put your first name, middle name if you want, middle initial. If you use a middle initial, put a period. Because that's how it's going to be shown in the commencement program. And then you're going to put, this is really important, an address. Where are we going to mail your diploma? Ithaca College no longer mails diplomas. We use a third-party vendor called Parchment. And they will send the diploma to where what you put on your application. Do not put an Ithaca College address because you're not going to be here. So please don't do that. A lot of students do that, but please don't do that. Make it maybe, your parents' address or an address where somebody will be where you can get your diploma, okay? Diplomas will be mailed mid to late June, and we need the time between the May graduation date, mid to late June, to get everything finalized. It won't be me, but whoever will be awarding your degrees probably a week or so after commencement. So your transcript, if you need a transcript for a job, your transcript will say your degree is awarded on it. You can order that once your degree is awarded, no problem. And that's your official record, okay? suffix, I don't know why people have a problem with this. It's not Miss or Mr. It's like if your last name, you're the third, the fourth, junior, or something like that. That's what the suffix is. So if you're a third, that's where you want to put that information. Any questions on that? Okay. So if you go in and you say, it says I have no application on file, like it won't let you apply, possibly you've already applied. So if you've already applied, it's not going to let you apply twice. If you have two majors, you have to apply for each of them. Apply for your primary first, then your secondary. Okay, even 2 majors, 2 degrees, whatever, you have to apply for both of those. And if you have any questions, email my degree. And this is kind of new. This is really cool with Parchment too. They give you a free copy of your digital diploma, which is really nice. But that's not going to go out until, the mid to late June. You'll get that at that time as well. That you can put on social media, you can attach it to resumes, whatever you want. So that's kind of cool. So we kind of talked about this a little bit. I just want to go over it because it's a big question. If I have 2 majors, am I getting 2 diplomas? Not necessarily. If both your majors are in the same degree program, that's 1 diploma. If they're 2 different degree programs, that's 2 diplomas. So requirements to graduate. We went over the first few, but you have to have 48 credits here at Ithaca College to graduate. 48. 50% of your major has to be completed here at Ithaca College. They're called residencies. If you have something on your degree evaluation that's an incomplete, or something called the NGS. NGS is no grade submitted, means your professor never submitted a grade for you. You cannot graduate. Those have to be cleared up. You have to have a minimum GPA of a 2.0, not a 1.99, but a 2.0. You have to complete all those liberal arts credits that we talked about, and the destination survey. Now, Latin honors. This is always a big question. So Latin honors, there's 2 sides to Latin honors. There's the commencement side and then your actual final Latin honors. For commencement program, by February 1st, we lock in, and again, this is only the commencement program and the actual course you receive. We lock in your final GPA and your final Latin honors. We do not round up, we truncate. So if your GPA is a 3.499, then you do not get Latin honors. You've done really well. You may go up to a 3.5 or above for your final GPA. That's great. Your diploma, your transcript will have your final Latin honors on it, but we do not do that for commencement because we start working on the commencement program February 1st, believe it or not. Okay. Latin honors is picked up at the campus store. I don't think they'll change that for the spring semester. You'll get a notice that you've received the Latin honors honor and when to pick them up. When you go to pick them up, you have to have your student ID or any ID with a picture on it. You're going to have to sign for it. Nobody can pick up for you. If you're going to study abroad, you're going to LA, you're going London, wherever. You just email us at my degree and we'd be happy to mail your honor cords to you at a U.S. address. We won't mail them abroad. Okay? Any questions on Latin honors? Okay, you're an easy crowd. Okay, so our diploma, what's our diploma look like? We do not put majors on diplomas. We only put the degree and your Latin honors and your date. And then there's 3 signatures on the bottom, but no majors. Your diploma is not an official record. It's a certificate. It's an important certificate, but it's your certificate. You frame it, you put it up, whatever you want to do. But your transcript is your official record. That will have your majors on it. That'll have any kind of, if you're in an honor society, Oracle, let's say, Phi Kappa Phi, whatever. That's gonna, if you make Dean's List, that's all on your transcript because that is your official record. Okay? Any questions on what your diploma? All right, you are an easy crowd. Okay, so as I said, your transcript is what has all the really important stuff on it. And that, again, you can start sending out as soon as your degrees are awarded. Okay? All right, now commencement, moving right along. This is what you're really here for. You're not here to listen to all that other stuff, I know. What to expect for commencement? Well, your commencement day is May 18th. So please make sure your family has started to make reservations. The deadline for your application for degree is November 13th. Why is that so early when your graduation date is May 13th or May 18th, I mean? It's because we have to start working on that program, and we have to make sure all that information is correct. It takes a long time to validate everything. When you complete that application for degree and you register to walk at commencement, they are two separate processes. You have to do both. Okay, you have to do both. They are not connected. I will not email you back and say, hey, everything looks good on your application. I will email you, however, if there's a problem. So if there's a problem, that's the only time you're going to hear from me. Okay? Other than that, consider your application fine. When you go to register, we use a company called Marching Order. And in this is kind of pretty cool. You log in. You have between 3 and 4 weeks to complete your registration. You have plenty of time. We have to cut it off because this company has to take all that information and get it to us. We can't add you late, so you're going to get a lot of emails next semester. I know you don't like them. I know it's a pain right in the butt, but you're going to have to read them. I urge you, I beg you, read them because there's a lot of good information in there, especially deadlines. The deadline for registering for commencement is pretty firm because they have to rely on all those numbers to know how many guest tickets that students we can reissue out. So depending on how many students come, you may automatically get, I'll just use last year as an example, 5 guest tickets. And you say, oh, geez, I need 8. Well, we know how many extra we have based on the number of students who register for commencement. So there's application for degree and registering for commencement, 2 separate processes, and you have to do both. If you get an email from commencement that says, hey, you didn't register, and you said, oh, yes, I did, trust me, you didn't do something right. You didn't hit submit, you didn't save it or something. Reach out and somebody will help you. We'd be more than happy to help you. In order to attend commencement, you have to have a cap and gown. You cannot attend commencement without cap and gown. We no longer seat students based on your school. You're going to sit right next to your friends. And that's what our students wanted, so we started doing that. We're going to form 2 lines of commencement. And so make sure your friends are in front or behind you because you're going to walk on those 2 lines and then you're going to split off. So don't walk side by side, in front or behind you. There is no practice at commencement. You basically show up that day. You sign in, you get a medallion, you wear the medallion, you mingle for a little bit. We've got to make sure everybody's there. Then we form the 2 lines and we start. And that's it. Pretty simple. You've been forming lines since kindergarten, so I'm pretty sure you can do it, right? So when you register, you can put whatever name you want as you walk across the stage. You can record that name. If you have a difficult name, you're going to want to record it. You can record that name. You can also make a thank you slide. And this is a thank you slide, thanks mom and dad for all you did, grandma and grandpa, whatever you call them, Mimi, pop, whatever. And you want to put that on your thank you slide. You can put a picture of yourself on the thank you slide. It's a pretty nice feature. And what do we do with those thank you slides? Well, we run them for everyone, all the guests who are sitting there. Now we vet these thank you slides. So We don't want anything that's not appropriate because we do vet them, okay? Remember, this is a celebratory event, and we have grandma and grandpa in the audience, okay? So for the undergraduate ceremony, you will get guest passes. Again, I don't know what that number is right now. They haven't determined it. Last year it was 5. I could just give you that information. And as I said, Latin Honor Cords will be distributed through the campus store. Last year we did it mid-April, and we ran it for 2 weeks, okay? Any questions? Go ahead.
What date was the commencement registration due by?
So commencement registration, I don't have those dates, but last year we started the end of February and we ran it for like 4 weeks. I don't have the exact dates this year, but I imagine it's going to be, we try to get it done before you go on spring break, because after you get back from spring break, like what happens, right? You pretty soon, before you know it, it's finals, right? You're coming off of spring break, trying to get back acclimated to school. Then pretty soon it's going to be finals, so we do it way before that. Okay. Then there's the commencement program. The commencement program has all of your names in it. It'll have the name you put for your diploma name. We use proper names in it. It'll have your major. If you have 2 majors, it'll have both. Your degree, if you receive Latin honors. Then there's something called hometown. Your hometown is what you identify as where you're from. So I'm from Auburn, New York. So mine would just say Auburn, New York. It does not have your address. It just has your city and state, and that's it. Okay. And then it'll have like if you're an Oracle Society, if you won any awards and things like that, most awards are run or placed in the commencement program. And as I said before, we start working on that program in February 1st. So that's a long time for us to work on the program. Okay. So if right now your permanent address, like again, my address is Auburn, New York. If I move to Ithaca right now, my permanent address is Ithaca, New York, and I really identify with Auburn, I'm going to fill out a form, and only fill out this form if your permanent city and state is different, called the hometown commencement form, and then we'll make sure that Auburn, New York, or whatever it is, will go into the commencement program. Okay. Now, what if you took classes outside of Ithaca? Anybody doing study abroad for your final semester? You are? Okay. So if you are doing, say, the London program, LA, those credits are really not transfer credits. They are automatically on your transcript, and you're registered directly for those classes, so you don't have to worry about it. But if you're doing a study abroad program, like let's say you're going to Istanbul, and you're taking it through an affiliated program, you have to fill out a petition for transfer credit for each course that you're taking abroad. And that way we know what the equivalency will come in to apply those courses correctly, if they need to be applied towards a certain requirement. If you're taking a study abroad program through a non-affiliated, you need, in order to bring in each and every one of those courses, you need to fill out definitely a petition for credit, a study abroad one, for each of those courses. Say you're taking a Cornell class, but you're registered through Ithaca, we need your transcript for Cornell class. If you're taking a class at Tompkins Community College, you need a regular petition for transfer credit, and then we need the transcript. And we need that. I'm going to use Cornell as an example because I know they end a week later than us. So you have like 3 weeks where you can get that transcript into us, but if you don't get it to us, we can't award your degree. So it's really important that we get all transcripts, if you're taking a CLEP exam or anything, in within that 3-week period after commencement. If you're studying abroad in your final semester, you may, because we need all that information within 3 weeks, we may have to push you out to August. Don't worry about it. It is okay. You will have an August date, but it's a very common thing that happens. But don't worry about it. And you can always email us and ask us questions if you have any. Okay? Let's see. So, I have the deadline up there. I'm pretty good, huh? June 6th. That's your deadline to get everything into us. We kind of went through that. And again, if you're not going to graduate in May and you already know it, just change your date. It's okay. You can still attend commencement, but I want you to get that time ticket. That's what's really important. Okay? Any questions on study abroad, transcripts, or any of that? Nope. Okay. Finally, career services. They're a great resource. I would go use them if you need help with your resumes, connections with alumni, where are jobs being offered right now? What's good for your major that you took? What kind of job? Go see them and they can help you. And then they also provide the destination survey, and that's called the Final Destination Survey. And it just tells us, even if you don't know what you're doing, it's okay. They said it only takes 3 minutes to fill out. So you just fill it out. You say, I don't know my plans, or I'm going to graduate school, or I've got a job at XYZ. Just do it, because if you don't, unfortunately, your diploma will get held up and it won't be mailed to you until you do it, because it is a requirement. Okay. And that's it. So if you want to take a picture of that, feel free. And now we'll open up for any questions, and then we'll do our raffle. Nobody has any questions? All right, Megan, let's do the raffle. You guys are, oh, I'm sorry, we have a couple. Great. Pardon me? Yeah, go ahead, hon.
So if your graduation date is in December, will you still be getting all the emails for registering for May commencement?
Yes, so are you December 24 or December 25?
24.
December 24. So email me at mydegree@ithaca.edu. I've kind of started a little file, and we'll be handing that over and giving that to the person to make sure they know you want to attend, because you'll have December commencement as well. But you should. What I did last year, and I don't know if they'll run it the same this year, but I contacted all the December 24 graduates, and I said, if you're interested, let me know, because then I manually added you. Because a lot of them, December grads are kind of hard, because they're like, I don't know why you're contacting me, because I've already graduated. I don't want to come back. December graduates identify with either the class before or the class after. We don't know which, right? So that's why we do give you the option. Absolutely. Yep. And go ahead.
You're gonna email when it's open to register for things?
Absolutely. Okay. As I said, I'm gonna email next week on Monday, the application for degree. That is due in November. And then in the spring semester, keep an eye on the email. And yes, you're gonna get a lot of them. Keep an eye on the email of when registration for commencement will open. And remember, they're two separate processes. Okay?
Are you gonna send the survey thing?
The survey is run through Career Services, but they should give a link for us to use in the registration of commencement. They did last year, so I can't imagine it'd be different.
So filling up that survey is a requirement for it?
It is. It is. Yes, it is. And again, it doesn't take you long at all. So just do it, get it over, even if you don't know what you're doing.
So is it for career services?
It's through Career Services. Handshake, are you guys familiar with Handshake? Yeah, so they run it through Handshake. Go ahead.
I was just wondering, so I'm signed in on marching order, and I was wondering, it doesn't have anything for registration for commencement for December. That hasn't passed yet, right?
No, it hasn't passed. We haven't even
All
opened
right.
that yet.
Perfect.
Boy, you are good. I like that. I like you're on top of it. No, you will get an email for registration for that. Yes. We don't have the date yet on that. All right, I'll go here, then we'll go back and forth. How's that? Go ahead, hon.
I missed it. What survey for?
It's called the Final Destination Survey.
Okay.
And it's something through Career Services. It's mandatory that our school reports this information. So that's why it's mandatory for you to, you self-report what you're doing. And if you don't know what you're doing, it's okay. That's one of the options. You just say, I don't know.
And when do we have to?
So that's in the spring semester,
Okay.
and you'll get an email about it, and you'll get the link for it.
So grad cap and gown for December is also still not opened yet?
No, that hasn't opened either. And I don't have the dates for that yet. Yep.
Is there any organizations on campus where students can also help out with commencement or like help out registrar?
If you want to help and work commencement, is what you're saying?
Yeah, like assist if anything.
Assist with anything. How about your student council? Yeah, go to your student council and see what you can do. That'd be great. And then there's senior week. I don't even talk about senior week because that's run through your senior class, right? So that's a great way to get involved, is with senior week. Does somebody else have their hand up? Great questions, you guys. Oh, Latin honor chords, by the way, this is one question that comes up. You don't have to pay for them. Okay, they're free. You earn them. You earn them. Anybody else? Yeah.
Do you get any other chords for like clubs you're involved in or anything?
Some do, yes, and some don't, and they take care, your own
Okay.
club takes care of that. The only one, official one that we do is your Latin honor chord. Yeah,
It was said that the deadline is like February 1st for Latin honor.
yeah, for the actual chord itself and for commencement only. And then when we do all the end of term processing at the end of, after grades and everything are in, your final GPA will determine what your Latin honor chord is. Now, I will say, and I think I had it on the slide, but I didn't actually say it, you have to have 60 earned credits to get Latin honors. And that's earned credits here at Ithaca, 60, okay?
If we graduate in December, are we getting Latin honor there?
Yeah, no matter when you graduate, you get Latin honors, yes.
Even though it's written February 1st?
So are you December 25?
Yeah. No,
Okay,
24,
so
this December.
for this December 24.
Yeah.
Okay, so as of October 1st, for December 24, for the December program, that's when we make that cutoff. It's October 1st. You're welcome. Anybody else? Good questions, you guys, great questions. Well, thank you for spending your hour with me. I really appreciate it. And we got two things to raffle. The first one we'll get to choose. We got a hammock and a t-shirt.
We jumbled them up here really good for you.
Okay, I'm gonna let Megan here.
Oh, you're drawn.
I'm drawn. Oh, blah, 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 blah.
Pick
Oh,
a good one.
boy, pick a good one. Parker Friedman.
We have Parker. Are you
Parker, all
Parker?
right. Yay, Parker.
Parker, do you want the hammock or the t-shirt? This is, I believe, an extra large is the size.
I'll take the t-shirt.
You want the t-shirt?